I use these settings to improve my freestyle and competitive playing over 100%. These settings will either take you to the next rank or improve your freestyle ability drastically. I've done freestyle for a couple years in tournaments against the likes of Jaxi, TX and many others. These settings are ones I've created through all of the years of trial and error, so make sure to stay to the end of the video to see all of my settings. Before I get into the settings, like and comment to push this video on the algorithm and to hit my like target of 50 likes in this video. These are the best Rocket League settings. I've made these their cross between freestyle and competitive, but mainly towards competitive. I'll show you these now. You can use any car for these. I use Octane or Dominus with these. Starting off with the gameplay. These are my gameplay settings, all basic, all default, nothing changed too much. I think this has changed, maybe one of these has changed as well, but nothing drastically changed that you need to. Now for my camera settings. If you've got Backsmod, you can change your camera preset. All of the pros camera presets will be listed all the way down on here. You can have that and just use any of the pro settings, see which ones you like the most. I would recommend that if you've got Backsmod. I don't use Backsmod, so I don't have any of them there. Camera shake I've got turned off. No one uses camera shake. Maybe if you want to call cinematic of you using camera shake. But realistically, no one uses it at all. It just gets annoying. Field of view. I've got field of view of 110. Some people use 100. That's mainly for air dribbling and stuff like that. But I feel like this would literally be impossible to use in comp. If I was using this in comp, I would just jump out the window probably. So I've got it at 110. That's the best middle ground between all of them. I feel like 110 is really good for freestyle, really good for comp. Distance, I've got 260. I feel like distance and 260 is the best middle ground as well. It's really nice in freestyle. You get clean clips, you can see the ball really well, see the car really well. And in comp you can see all around the ball really well. Some people have it a lot higher, like 280 or so. I don't really like it when the car's that far away. Some people have it like 240, 230. Whenever I'm doing freestyle alone, I normally have it around 230 like this, really close to the car. That's so I can see the car and ball really well, so I can have really good clips and stuff like that. But for comp, always 260 to be honest. Having it too close, you just can't see around the field, so this is a very good middle ground between both of them. Height, I've got a 100. This is so when I'm doing flicks and dribbles, I can see the car and ball really well like this, so I'm right in line with the car. If you've got 110, you can still see the car and ball really well, so it's just a tiny bit above the car, so it makes dribbling a bit harder. So I would recommend 100. It's the same when you're doing air dribbles and stuff like that. Your car is just in line with the ball and it's so much better. Because you can see here, my car is just in line with the ball, you can see it really well. It's just so much better. Now for angle, I've got angle at -4. It depends what you want to achieve. If you want flip resets, I'd put it -9. All of the best people who do flip resets have it at -9. This is, you can see on top of your car here. So you can see my car and ball really well. You can see where the ball's going to go. Because you're literally at bird's eye view above the ball. Like here you can see right above. So I would recommend if you want to do flip resets, put it at -9 and see if you like it or not. I personally don't like it, but I have it -4, -3 if you really want your car's angle to be like this, put it at -3. Can help with dribbles and stuff like that maybe, but realistically -4 is the best middle ground. So I always have it, always have it -4. Whenever I've changed my settings, I've always kept it -4. Stiffness, I've got 0.25. This is basically when you go supersonic, your cameras just come out of your car like that. If you have it at 1, then the camera is just going to stick to your car. It won't move at all. Some pros actually have it at 1 and they really like it at 1. But I personally think it's better kind of in the middle. not that. For freestyle, I normally have it around 0.4, because I don't like it coming out my card too much when I'm freestyling. But for comp, I kind of like it when the camera comes out. So I normally have it 0.25. This is still manageable for freestyle, because it's just a really good middle ground for freestyle and comp. I would definitely recommend you have it at 0.25. But the bottom ones are just all personal preference. They don't really matter too much. So that's personal preference, this is personal preference, and this is personal preference. Swivel speed and transition speed. This is basically how your camera sees the ball. So it kind of like flicks towards the ball here. I really like this speed here. Makes clips look a lot cleaner. When you're doing no flips, it makes the no flips look a lot cleaner. Makes your musty flicks look a lot cleaner. Makes all of your shots look so much cleaner. Then in comp as well, it's really useful to have a good flicking cam. You don't want it flicking in slow motion. By the time your camera's moved over to the ball, they've scored. So just have it at this setting, it's so much better at this setting. So now inverted swivel. A lot of people have this off, and I think they have it off because they don't know what it does. It basically is how the camera swivels above your car when you're doing flip resets and air dribbles. I have it on because I really like it for freestyle. If you're doing freestyle, I definitely recommend you have it on. If you don't have it on, try it with it on, try some air dribbles and try some flip resets with it on and see if you like it. I highly recommend you have it on. And I think that's all of the camera settings, so I'll move on to the dead zones and keybinds now. For the keybinds, I really don't think keybinds matter at all. It's just personal preference and what you're used to. I've got boost at B. People tell you to put it R1, R2, RB, but boost at RB just doesn't feel right. I've tried it before. Just stick with B. It doesn't make any difference at all. It's just what you're used to. Power side, I've changed that to L1. That's so you can do these types of wave dashes. I've not done these in ages. So you can do these wave dashes here, and you'll like carry on sliding. It's like this. So you can do these wave dashes. I've changed air roll to L1 and R1 here. Much prefer these air roll there. And everything else is just default, I think, but you can take a look and see if anything's different or not. So for my sensitivities and dead zones, I've got sensitivities at 2. Basically, the lower the sensitivity, the easier it is for air dribbles, and the higher the sensitivity, the easier it is for flip resets and musty flicks. I always have it at 2, I would never have it above 3. I think 2 is the perfect middle ground for flip resets and air dribbles, so I'd never have it above that. For my dead zones here, I've got 0.15 and 0.3. 0.15, people say you have to have it at 0.3 for stalling. You don't have to have it at 0.3, it's just how good you are at stalling, to be honest. I know people who've got it at 0.01 and can stall 10 out of 10 times. I've got it at 0.15 and I can stall 9 out of 10 times. So it really doesn't matter at all. Dodge dead zone. Actually, this one before I move on. If you don't do stalls and if you don't do freestyle, have it around 0.05. I just have it like this because I prefer it for freestyle. Dodge dead zone, I've got 0.3. I think 0.3 is a really good middle ground as well. People have it like 0.7, other people have it around 0.2 or so. But I just think 0.3, it makes your car feel light. You move around really well, and I think it's the default setting as well. It's either that or 0.5. So I've just always been used to it. So those are all of my camera settings and dead zones. I'll quickly show you my other settings. I don't use keyboard, so ignore all of those. Interface, I've changed nameplate scale to 120. I think it's default at 110, but I have it at 120. All of these are turned on mainly. Time updates only. Coloured boost meter, this is having your boost meter coloured. I get asked all the time how you do that. It's this setting here. Video, I've got all of these on performance. Just to make the video look better, I've got these higher. So that's what I normally have. Then if I want to record a video, I put it like this. Then audio, I've got audio off. That's because I just listen to music and I can't be bothered to hear game audio. So if you're doing comp, have it around there. If you can't be bothered, have it around there like I do. I couldn't be bothered to hear anything in game. Even in comp, I never have it on. Then chat, this is all of the chat. Here's all of my chats, and that's everything. If you want to learn something, I've got a tutorial for every single mechanic in Rocket League. So check my channel out below and search up the tutorial you wanted to learn. Your dream mechanics on my channel to learn, so make sure you subscribe.